GCSE and A-level exams are rapidly approaching, and now is definitely the time to sit down and start grinding. Hi, my name is Ali Mahdi. I'm a Year 13 student studying biology, chemistry and maths at A-level. Now, I was able to achieve all 9s with a couple 8s at GCSE, so I'd like to share my own advice with you based on my personal experience through GCSE and A-levels. So my first revision technique, especially when you're nearing towards exam season, is called a brain dump or blurting method. Now, this is essentially where you go through each topic and get a piece of paper or your iPad or whatever you have and write down as much as you can remember on that topic. And it's a great method to test yourself and to also see where your kind of gaps are. So once you've written as much as you can remember on the topic, you can go through your specification in your textbook and plug in any gaps that you may have with things that you may have missed when doing the blurting, and make sure this is done with a different colored pen so you can see kind of the areas that you've missed. And now once that's done, you can create flashcards for those areas that you've done in a different colored pen, so those that you've missed, and these can be done regularly, but I'll talk more about flashcards later on. And this can be repeated per topic over regular time periods to kind of assess your progress. And you will notice that actually over time you'll be able to actually recall more information than you did last time. So my next revision strategy would be flashcards. So if you're quite close to exams, it may be a bit unrealistic to create flashcards on every single thing within your specification. And so at this point, when you're close to exams, I'd recommend making flashcards on the areas within certain topics that you're finding difficult. This could be figured out through the brain dump method that I mentioned earlier. I would also recommend using an online flashcard generator such as Anki or Quizlet, and doing your flashcards as regularly as you can to ensure that you're constantly recalling this information, and so you're not forgetting it. Now, Anki has this automated. Honestly, my favorite study tool, and it's been so helpful through my A-levels. My third and final, and possibly my most important revision strategy, is just doing past papers. Whether that is a full past paper or exam style questions on specific topics within your subject. This is my most recommended study technique, and is what's helped me get through both GCSE and A-levels. So doing past papers is actually the most realistic way of studying, because at the end of the day you're going to be sitting there in the exam hall writing your GCSE or A-level papers, and so doing these exam style questions will prepare you the most directly for your exams. Almost as important, if not more important than answering these questions, is actually marking them and ensuring where you went wrong, being able to understand how the mark schemes work and what the examiners are actually looking for, especially for subjects like biology, where exam mark schemes are quite specific, and the question may be asking one thing and the mark scheme may say something else that you may not have even thought of. The closer you get to exam period, the more past papers you should be doing. All three of the study techniques that I've spoken about today are examples of active studying techniques. So testing yourself, whether it's doing blurting, flashcards or past paper questions. And these are scientifically proven to be the most effective ways to study and retain the most information as possible. And it's much more effective than passive techniques of revision, such as reading your textbook or writing notes. And it's actually shown that you don't retain much information through these methods. I hope this video was helpful and you're now able to implement these study techniques into your revision.